Here's a little engine that you don't see steaming very often. This is a Luton Bowman PW202, an overtype engine. It's an overtype version of really the 201. It's practically identical except for the way that the engine is orientated on top of the boiler. Dates from about 46 to 49, and here we see it coupled to a rather nice post-war Mamod workshop with brass wheel tools, cast iron frames, oiling holes, all the really nice finishing touches that they once used to put on their tools. And as you can see, this little engine is doing very, very well indeed. It's very low geared, very small pulley on there, driving the big brass pulley on the line shaft, giving it plenty of mechanical advantage. This one I picked up at Steam Toys in Action this year, and has been completely refurbished. It was already well on the way. I've basically completed it with a paint job, new seals on the safety valve, and generally just a bit of a wash and a brush up to bring it up to standard, new deco, everything. And as you can see, it sort of runs this little setup very, very well indeed. The brass tools are, let's say, date from approximately 1948, probably through to 53. Basically, because they've both got, all three of them have got brass wheels on them, hot brass or hot stamped brass wheels. And you can see the line shaft has pre-war decal on it. I think they probably used it up, because they had a stack of them left over from before the war. This one normally is connected to the SC4, which I haven't got running. I only tend to run that one 2 or 3 times a year, basically because, you know, let's say there is certain frailty with some of the joints, certainly on the steam dome and that, which might need a little bit of soldering work, which once I've plucked up enough courage to do, I will probably attend to. Anyway, back to the PWs. It's running extremely smoothly. They're very well built engines, really. Obviously, the Luton Bowman, they were built in Luton, which is Bedfordshire, and they were built by a company called Peace Parts and Assemblies, who basically bought the rights to the Bowman name and business after the war, not or to the certain displeasure of Geoffrey Bowman Jenkins when he actually found out what they'd actually done. This one tends to vibrate a lot. I mean, the lamp, which is got the original tube but a different reservoir, it tends to jump around a little bit. But as you can see, it's a nice little performer, and it's doing a very creditable job. You can just about hear the hammer. It's running quite slowly, but these are all screw construction, the tools. Far superior quality to the ones that you can get today, although the design is very, very similar. I've put a new seal and spring on the safety valve. I always tend to find that these leads tend to blow an awful lot. There's a lot of water leaking down at the bottom, but it's not precluding it from running effectively. It's stuttering a little bit, so I think it's due for another lubrication in a moment. So there you have it. Quite a rare little engine. I think of all the Bowman or the Luton Bowmans, it's the most difficult one to actually try and get hold of. I've only seen a handful of them over the years, and perhaps they just made less of them. They were less popular. I'd say outwardly it looks different, but the base plate, engine unit, everything is identical to the PW201, which has a base plate mounted engine unit.